Hey everybody, welcome back to Spin Rack. We are talking about episode 3 of What If. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Thank goodness I got my boys PD and Cal here. Say what's up, guys.
What up?
It was off the chain, off the chain. A simple change. That's the thing about What If. What if a simple change happens? What happens if my heroes are never brought together? What happens if one person dies, and causes a chain reaction? And here in What If 3, we see that happen, right? What happened if one character dies? How this affects everybody else. And so the Avengers Initiative is totally changed, from what we expect it to be to what it actually becomes. So this is a new universe. All I gotta say, What If is off to a hot trailer. The brothers are down with me on this. So starting it off, Nick Fury's trying to start off a whole new Avengers Initiative in this universe. And the first person he goes to is the man himself, the Iron Man, the heavy hitter, the guy who starts it off, Tony Stark, and Tony ends up dying. He then goes over to some of the characters. Just swallowed myself.
You can't remember the characters?
I remember the characters. Just Hawkeye ends up dying. Thor, who they don't know yet, dies. Black Widow dies, and the Hulk. Some of the key linchpin figures, cornerstone figures dies. Why did this happen? Simply because somebody died. Somebody wanted revenge. So, hey, guys, what was your take on this fantastic episode, this what if moment with Nick Fury? We saw Coulson part of it. What do you guys think about it?
Who do you want to start off?
At the very beginning.
No, who do you want to start it off?
Clearly not Cal. He's already expressed his intention already. So we'll leave Cal for the bitter end.
Okay. This one was more the tone of what a what if should be. The problem is that it was they didn't have enough setup. It worked on this idea. It didn't work if you didn't know the Marvel movies that you could watch it, right? So if you didn't know what was going on, you just see at least Iron Man, of course, is the Iron Man part kind of worked. But then the other characters being a part of this initiative, them already having to figure that they're going to become this thing. I think in the initial stages, they might decide this thing, but it was just like, okay, they already got the beat on the other problem is just the structure problems with this. Because if you kill Hawkeye, then why the hell? Okay, because she broke out. But at the same time, while she was captured, she should have been dead. They all should have been dead. Nick Fury, if this guy's taking them all out, should have just kept taking them out. Why is he wasting time?
We wanted him to suffer. So look, do we reveal what happened? Who did it or not?
It's about killing the event. Let's leave that for the closer to the end, right? But what are your thoughts? If you don't want to go to Cal right away, so he goes to it and pulls out his red pen. Red marker.
Let Cal start off with that red pen, but I was hoping we would at least go sequentially with the deaths of the Avengers.
Well, they want to go. What can we say? They did the thing that you're not supposed to do. The thing that people keep talking about going online. That Ant-Man would go up his behind and put the thing in him. That's what he wanted to do. That's what the thing that you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to break the fourth wall and give the fans what they were thinking of.
That's what If is supposed to do.
You're not supposed to do that because then you're thinking the next character, then a new Yellow Jacket will just do that to the Hulk. Just grow a cell and then explode. You don't let the pin particles work that way.
And that shouldn't have worked.
Elaborate, please, Mr. Ellis.
You can get away with the Iron Man one, all right? Because at the end of the day, you got the suit. Iron Man is just a regular suit. But even then, after Iron Man got killed, for me, I was like, okay, it's Ant-Man. That's the guy who's doing this stuff. Why? I was like, well, they're saying we can't see this dude. I was like, well, that's the only guy who could be doing this stuff and not seen. It's Ant-Man. Doctor Strange has no reason to do it. That's the only person who might have been able to do it from afar. So then you take Clint out, okay? And not only do you take him out, but he's like, oh, I never pulled. He was like, I never let go of a shaft earlier or anything of that nature, trying to say it without any innuendo sounds or anything of that nature. And then he's dead. I'm like, how did he die? We didn't even see anybody come into the room because they were too small, so you didn't see him. You already know it's Ant-Man. But then you get to the Hulk. And the whole buildup is supposed to be, well, the Hulk can't die, well, the Hulk can't die. And he's like, oh, he died. And he dies in the most SpongeBob SquarePants way that they could have done it. But the whole, like, wait a minute. They put a growth thing on this dude. I was like, okay, the Hulk is supposed to have regenerative capabilities that are bar none. So he should have been able to just, regenerate out of that whole thing. His cells are supposed to be pretty, like on a Superman level at the end of the day. He's supposed to be like really borderline indestructible for that type of stuff. And it was pretty much, no, all we got to do is just enlarge any part of this dude and he's dead. I'm like, oh, the Hulk just gets no respect in this universe. He's getting beat up by Thanos. He's getting exploded like into green glop at the end of the day. But that shouldn't have worked on that character. They really made it too easy to take out a character like the Hulk, which really makes me ask, well, what is he in this universe? He's just strong? That's it? Does he get stronger as he gets angrier? Does he have the regenerative capabilities does he have in the comic? So I guess not. I really guess he's just a fall guy and fodder, or he's the jobber at the end of the day. Let's kill him to show how well these guys are going with the Worf effect. The rest of it was just like, okay, well, it's Ant-Man. Let's see what his reasons are. And he's like, well, he went crazy because they killed his daughter. I was like, but she was working for S.H.I.E.L.D. That's like getting angry at the U.S. military because somebody got, killed while they were on assignment overseas. That's what can happen when you sign up for it at the end of the day. But alternative universe, maybe he doesn't have the same coping skills as the Ant-Man of the proper universe. Go for it. But the biggest problem was that there's still an Avengers at the end of this. And if you really wanted to go this whole way with it, you had to have something where like the planet is totally subjugated and, people are like, without any hope whatsoever. And then you show the importance of why you need the Avengers. Or the Earth, or Loki says he does exactly what he says he's going to do. He decimates the Earth in ash and ice. Okay, and the whole place is ruined. And then you come over here and it becomes this cautionary tale. This is why you need the Avengers. Okay, without these guys, without this stopgap against people who would come here and do these things, this is what the result is going to be. Instead, they end with almost like on a cheery note. Oh, look, we forgot Captain Marvel and Captain America's in the ice, so don't worry, we're going to have some Avengers. Like, no, you got to go all the way with it. If you really want to sell it, you got to go all the way. Without the Avengers, the planet is done. Now, is it a nice little quirk seeing Loki actually realize the dream that he wanted of taking over the Earth and ruling everybody? To a certain extent, yes. But, and this is what they understood in the What If comics, the idea is not to give people what they want and say, see, look how well this would work. Oh, no, they're going to expect us to do this in the actual reality that we've created. No, you're supposed to give people what they want and show them why this may not, be careful what you wish for. Okay, that's part of what it is at the end of the day, too. See what would happen if we never had the Avengers? This is what happened if Wolverine killed the Hulk. Oh, this is what happens if Conan actually came to the Marvel Universe. And then give people a taste of it, but also show them why overall, this is not the reality that we want. We're going to keep trooping on with the one that we have. They're not doing that.
You're on mute, Petey.
I know. So what I would only add to that is that this is going to and you know that I've had issue with Jim Shooter. This goes to that what if issue 3, what if the Avengers had never been. And if you look at it as a classic what if story, it's but the thing is what they do is set up. In there, the Avengers have been together for at least at least initial thing, and then they break up. So it sets up these characters, them actually being Avengers. And then they break off, and then they have to deal with the Hulk and the Submariner. And then, of course, it has a tragic ending, but a tragic or a hero type ending. And that's clearly one of the classic what if stories. And they kind of do their take on it. But they're like, hey, everyone knows they know all of the phases, so you're already in there. We don't need to set up Ant-Man or anything like that, or these type of things.
So I mean, I gotta knock both of you guys on this stuff.
Well, of course,
this is a whole new universe. This is a whole, and things are going to play out differently. And on top of that, let's forget this is going to be canon to the MCU. So it's playing out within the MCU universe, not just a regular comic universe. So there are changes already that have been done.
How can what if be canon?
He already said it's going to be canon. This is going to be part of the
How
universe.
does these alternate things going to be? You saying they're different worlds, like DC?
That's the whole reason with Loki and the
Earth, no
multiverse.
Avengers. Earth from
There's another Earth. This
Black
Earth 572.
Cha-Cha Earth, and what's the other one? I forget the other one. Captain Carter Earth.
Right. Yes. So these are all.
Come on, man. You're getting me upset right now.
Oh my gosh, this even to get you upset all the time. Captain. Yes, they've already said this is going to be canon to the MCU. Right? The fact that they may be able to bring some of these guys in is a possibility. But the point I'm trying to get to is that it's a different world. It's a different thing. And they're tackling it differently. Normally, the Hulk, you're right, probably wouldn't do that in the 616 universe in the comics. But in this world, in this universe, he clearly is susceptible to Hank Pym. Hank Pym being the person, because his daughter Hope died, is now taking revenge on all the Nick Fury. He's not killing Nick Fury now. He's making him suffer because he knows what the Avengers Initiative is, and he's going to bring him at the end, right? But that's why we like the episode. We figure out why this happened. He sets him up by making a deal with the devil himself, Loki, right? Nick Fury. That's how they capture Hank Pym at the very end. And I think this plays up. This is perfect because now basically Loki's taking over the world. And this is exactly what the Avengers Initiative was meant to be. We have Captain Marvel coming back. We see the shield of Captain America there and the possibility of him starting a whole new Avengers Initiative with other core characters. The original ones in the 616 universe are not there. But this other one, these new ones will be the ones who will be the core characters. And we've seen the Avengers change over time. The lineup changes regularly. So this is not something new. It's not something out of whack, But what if the Avengers had never been? Show that image. And you can see here, who's on this. We don't have no Hawkeye or Wanda, but we do have Thor, Hulk, and Iron Man. And the guy who flies like a fish.
Huh?
And the guy who flies like a fish.
No, they're not. That's not the Avengers. So you only have. That's it. And no is Iron Man. Everybody else.
The guy who flies like a fish. What fish flies?
Yeah. Flying fish.
Stop
do I need to get a wiki article for you about flying fish?
All right, look at this. They're leaving, and Iron Man is there by himself, right? So this is the point of the story, right? This is but at the same time, there's a makeshift thing because these guys, for some reason, well, the thing is, this is a classic story. They could have done this, and they could have done a nice Iron Man type story with this, where everyone is gone and Iron Man does something against Loki and this, that, and the other. But it's like, I don't know. It's one of those things where they did their own thing. I just wish they did some sort of more setup. Somehow, they wanted to have a mystery, but, it's you have to do some sort of setup for these things, or else you just say, hey, everybody's seen it. Like, everybody knows who Santa Claus is. We don't have to set up how the presents get under the tree. That sort of stuff. If you're doing
you even do a setup for Spider-Man. What are you talking about?
What do you say? Let's clearly. What do you?
They don't do a setup for Spider-Man. They don't do a setup for Spider-Man anymore. They just go straight into the guy has powers.
Not talking about him, how he got his powers. I don't need them to say, do a thing about how he got his powers. If you're gonna have him versus Mysterio, they set up Mysterio. They did their Marvel quick run through of how Mysterio became Mysterio, and they didn't even have to do that. They introduced him in the beginning. That's all I'm saying. Figure that out. You want to do a mystery, then you have to at least establish something of the characters in there, right? Not say, well, who else in the Marvel universe is it? It's who haven't who haven't we seen? It's Agent Carter. Agent Carter. Huh?
What you talking about, Willis?
I'm saying if you saying to figure out who the mystery is, if we have to go through the Marvel universe to figure out who it is, then I can say anyone is the person without setting up that character in the beginning of the story. Any good mystery at least starts and sets up who these characters are, or introduces them at some point in the story. I think they just fell back on me. Everybody knows the Marvel characters. We can just do it and they'll get it. It'll be cool. But over time, as you go along, it's just like, well, who's this guy? Who's this? No, when they're watching it, it's like they haven't seen Ant-Man or the Ant-Man movies. They're like, who is this guy?
But I think most people, one of the things that's different with DC versus Marvel, Marvel people generally watch most of it sequentially, and they watch these movies, so they have a general idea. Not everybody, but I would say most people have. So they've seen the pimp, right? So that's why I think it worked out. I don't know if they would have been able to
You're
figure
one
it
of
out like
those.
Cal.
You're one of those people who are okay with, hey, we, you know the character's name. Don't let anyone say the character's name because we wouldn't say each other's name while throughout the day. Like you see in stories now, they don't say the character, especially in comic books. You can go through almost a whole issue where nobody says the other character's name. But that was a basic thing to introduce you to these characters. I'm just saying, just set it up. Just set it up a little bit. Just all you need is do set up. Don't. I mean, it's animated. Just you can set it up, and then that's all. You don't. They don't want to give it away because hey, throw an Ant-Man or Hank Pym, it'll give away the story. Then you have a whole bunch of other people that could have done it. That's what a mystery does. You set up some characters, your patsies, and all that stuff, and then you have them pick the one they want to be the guy. Right? I mean, that's basically what the Watchmen does. You have a whole bunch of people, and then you kind of say, who is it? You try to figure out which one it is, right? Even though there's only one person it really could be, but
I'm going to come down to the brass tacks. Did you like the episode?
I just said it's more in the tone. I wasn't really totally with it, and I wasn't really totally with it. And the fact that of Thor dying, when in comics at least they brought him back, that sort of thing. But it's like for a fact, he had to stay dead, and at least more in the tone. Even though I guess, as Cal said, they chickened out at the end, giving it a positive spin that a Cap will tell Captain Marvel, "Hey, go out there and fight them." Because what's Captain America gonna do against Loki and his armed forces? What's he gonna do?
They're
Nothing.
going to build it up. This is an
He's
alternate
gonna tell
world.
Captain Marvel,
They're going to
"Go
hire
destroy everybody."
the whole
He's
thing of
gonna make the
Avengers.
Cat Brigade.
The Avengers.
Be a bunch of him and these teenagers on ham radios, and they're gonna save the Earth somehow. The whole idea is this is a perfect vehicle for you to show the importance of the Avengers, and not, why you don't take it for granted. And they did a whole bunch of other stuff, but overall they wasted that particular opportunity. So far we got what if Captain America, we got what if Steve Rogers was a woman. That was a fail. We got a really nice romp with T'Challa as Star-Lord. I was like, okay, at least that was entertaining. And then we come back over here, and once more, we got wasted opportunity. So we'll see what happens next week, Wednesday. Remember when Wednesday was fun? You get up, comic store, get some new books, it was something to look forward to. Now Wednesday is like, oh man, you go like, man, what's gonna happen this time? It's almost like watching a horror movie. Like, should I go down these dark steps? Nope. Nope.
I forgot about a Wednesday being comic book day, so it's not necessarily hump day. Hump day!
Used to be Fridays, then they decided to put it on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I just think you guys are limiting it because I think that there's going to be the whole purpose of the Avengers Initiative was to get a group of extraordinary individuals to help the Earth when they need certain problems. They have certain problems. Loki's clearly it. We know Captain Marvel is going to be part of it. Most likely Captain America or some type of Steve Rogers or some type of clone or whatever. But they're going to have.
I don't need no story with this setup.
All I'm just trying to say, nothing's going to happen, and I'm saying something will happen.
But that's part of the problem. You don't have to have the Avengers in this reality. It's what if. You can literally do anything that you want with these things. And the best stories from What If tend to be where we're shown why these characters are important in the first place. Why, hey, if let's say you did do this, let's say it wasn't Steve Rogers, it was this person as Captain America. We're reminded what a singular individual Steve Rogers is. We're reminded of that through a what if story. So we remember, we don't take Steve Rogers for granted or the Avengers for granted. Okay. In other instances, they show you, okay, you can get what you want. Let's say what happened? So-and-so died. Well, we're going to bring this person back. Oh, okay. But if we bring this person back, the world ends. Or there's no more stories after that. It pretty much ends because there's nothing else to go after. That was the option that you had with the what if, not show, oh, well, we're going to go through this and build up a new Avengers like we did over there. That's boilerplate at the end of the day. But unfortunately, I mean, it took me a while. And I got on this train. I got on this train about the time of Loki when I realized all of this is set up for what's coming in the films. Almost none of this is independent of that. And so, I'm just trying to get my enjoyment where I can.
I can't deal with this. Well, sorry.
The Avengers are important. This what shows us is that the Avengers are important, an important component. They are the heroes of the world. And yes, some of the main characters are not there, but that whole initiative, that whole desire still exists. To protect us. I'm trying to say, to bring people, assemble a team with extraordinary abilities to help battle the threats that Earth has to suffer. And I think that still holds right there, regardless of whether you have Captain America, which is or Iron Man or Thor. And I think that's where that is. And what you have to look at it in terms of that context. Now and say, yes, we know Steve Rogers is a singular individual. We know Tony Stark is, but we're talking about the idea of the Avengers is also in and of itself a very important thing. That's the point.
You keep talking about it, and you keep getting me more and more furious.
You've been furious with me for a long time, so I don't think that's
Avengers Initiative, that these heroes couldn't, like, at least in the Avengers comic book, they just get a notice that they just put the word out, and these are the guys that make the call. They come to the call on their own, not that, hey, oh, my hammer's here. Let me show you guys how I can use my hammer. Like, that aspect of the story, I never was with. And I understand it comes from, having Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. connected to these characters and trying to have Nick Fury have an important part of it. But when he does that speech, just a little part of me died.
Well, that's the ultimate influence at the end of the day. And the cynical modernism that crept in the comics, where originally it was just the superheroes came together and said, hey, what we're going to do? We're going to team up. We're going to do this. We like hanging out together. We like taking on these particular things. And we're going to be better off working as a team than working against each other, getting in our way, at least in terms of the Avengers. And that was it. Then it became, the government. Somehow the government is involved in all of these things. The government comes in, the government's sanctioning this, the government's giving us a headquarters. And I mean, originally the government was totally out of it. And so was it Shooter who brought in Henry Gyrich and all that type of stuff that came in afterwards?
Yeah. Henry Gyrich, yeah. That's in his stories, yeah. It's sort of, and he kind of he was like the shooter within the comic books. And
wasn't Mark Millar the guy who was behind the Ultimates?
No, well, we also have to give real credit to the damn Heroes Reborn, because they did their characters connected to before the Ultimates, and they always give it to they did the FF and the Avengers connected to S.H.I.E.L.D. So, or at least S.H.I.E.L.D. being at their both of their origin stories. So it's it's not something that the Avengers were, like, they, as of everything that Cal said. So in this, that's what kind of what they're doing is what would be, and so even in the Superman imaginary stories, not like a lot of them ended up where he'd be Superman again, but it was like the death of Superman, where it said, hey, it ended on a different note. Whereas what if it was more the like, not just the Twilight Zone, but more like the EC comic books with the, it's not even a twist end, but just a harsh ending to it. So, that's what the tone of this stuff is very different, trying to give an optimistic tone where it's just like, this what if, and he's watching, and he's like, and it doesn't get to why the watcher comes in and helps us out from time to time, because it's like, hey, I don't want to see this happen. I don't want to see such and such happen. And he, not fully gets involved, but sort of, advises the Earth on things. So.
Well, I'm glad you guys brought that up. So you brought that up to the Watcher, and probably need a little bit of clarification. I thought the Watcher only watched the world here, right? Not the whole multiverse of all the different opportunities. What does the Watcher do? I'll throw that to Cal and Pete if you can back that up. We'll shoot it down.
That's a whole other episode. We could table that and do a whole other show. We can get 10, 15 good minutes on that one. But
Okay, we'll hold up on that, but just quickly give a quick explain.
well, he's part of this alien race that screwed up. I won't go into how they screwed up, but because of what they did, they have assigned themselves that they will watch what goes through all in the universe and beyond, but only to record it for posterity, okay, and never to get involved, which when we first meet him, he breaks that rule.
Right. But I mean, is it simple to just, is he watching a simple world, or is he watching a whole multiverse of a particular world, or is he
Well,
watching?
why don't we save that for another episode? You know, you got the,
Okay,
the
got it.
save it.
All right, so Petey,
Yeah.
anything else you want to bring up? Or are we wrapping this one up?
I guess we should wrap this up. I guess only other thing with this seems like they're trying to do slightly different animation, just a little hair different as they go along. But what really did bug me is seeing, they try to do like Mark Ruffalo, the animated Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner, and I'm really pushing back against that sort of thing. It's really,
I think it's too late for that, bro.
it's not working for me.
It's too late. It already happened.
No, it's not working anymore. I'm not accepting Ben Grimm as as Bruce Banner, but let's keep it going.
All right, then listen. So just to sum up, dude, PD definitely liked it. Just
What's going on with this shirt that you got on? Looks like you got it from the dollar store.
Yo, okay, I'll knock it, bro. You know,
Let me see it.
I was garbage. What do you call that? Garbage dumping.
Let me see it. Let's see what's going on with that. I can't see it. What about the rest of it? Oh, you got. All right, there. Where did you get it from?
Like I said, I saw a garbage trailer, and I just.
Oh, the truth. All right, I get it. What's the truth?
I'll talk to you about that later. We'll feature you on the show. So
There's a good
Another
chance,
show about a T-shirt?
no,
There's
we'll
a
talk
good-
about it later, not in another show.
there's a good chance that's the truth.
So I was zooming through it. Hey, everybody, thanks for coming by. Go watch the show, like it.
Watch our show, not the other show.
What other show? I said, watch both shows.
We don't have to watch
Like,
one.
comment. Okay. Spin rack.
Out.
Out.